Assassin's Creed Brotherhood is really an experience in speed and power in a way that Assassin's Creed 2 wasn't.
Rome is the huge city. It's the largest city ever built by the Assassin's Creed team, so there's a lot to see and a lot to discover in Rome.
It's about 3 times the size of Florence, so it's the biggest world we've ever done in our map.
The production has been exponential. Everything is moving faster. You can do more with the world. You can use more abilities. At the same time, Ezio is acquiring power.
Ezio is much more mature, he's seasoned, he's experienced, and he gets to build his own Assassin's Order. You really have the feeling of playing the Master Assassin. We have what we call memorable moments. Places in the game where we wanted the player to feel really like an epic mission.
I wanted the player to remember each set piece and be able to talk about them with friends, not only next week, but next month.
One of the biggest set pieces that we have is the Castel Sant'Angelo, which is actually the main residence of the Pope. It actually took a whole team just to build that specific landmark. It's so huge.
Many aspects of the game were actually very challenging. The horse is one of them. There's a good reason why we didn't do it on AC1 and on AC2.
We really wanted to work hard on the horse and really improve the horse a lot, and that was a behemoth for us.
Having the horse inside the city is something that multiplies all the problems you have with the horse, because then you can do free running, then you can do assassinations, then you can do hijacking. The horse was definitely a challenge.
Personally, when I play Assassin's Creed Brotherhood, my favorite part is to be really stealthy. And what's nice about it is that now you have your fellow assassins with you. You can really come up with a plan, send your assassins on missions.
You can call your fellow assassins to kill people around you who you want dead. Ezio just does it with this little gesture like they're dead.
I mix it up a bit. I do like to do this social stealth action, like blade in the crowd type. Sometimes I just love to go in Rambo style and just kill everything.
I like kind of barreling through things. I'm not a delicate player. I'm not trying to master the nuances of the system, although there are many of them. I really like just doing high voltage things like throwing an axe into someone's head.
My favorite gadget are the smoke bombs. Call your assassins, they throw smoke bombs, it's chaos. And then you just go for the kill and savor that final moment.
We've been toying around with the multiplayer idea for a while now, for a good 2-3 years.
Having a multiplayer in Assassin's Creed game sounds weird because we're an action-adventure game, but it's something the players were telling us that they wanted to do.
It was really important to give the player the same kind of feeling that he experienced in the single-player aspect of the game, but in multiplayer.
It would have been easy to just slap on a deathmatch multiplayer, and I think it would have done a disservice to our core fan base. It had to be really smart. It's not a frag game, it's not a deathmatch, it's not how many people you kill, but how you kill them.
I think I prefer the courtesan as a multiplayer character because I can play and look at a cute girl at the same time.
The one that I choose a lot is the priest and the courtesan. Not that I feel like a woman sometimes.
It's the courtesan for me. Yeah, she's sneaky and yeah.
I know you're there, Ezio! So consider this an invitation from my family to yours!
For me, Brotherhood is about character and conflict.
We actually based the whole story around the Borgia family, and they actually existed in real life. Their history is so rich, like they're so decadent, they totally control Rome, they had their hand over the papacy and everything, so it's like a really good example of how power can corrupt you.
I worked very closely with a historian. Anything that's possible historically is allowed in the game.
Paper guards!
We're never going to have anything in the game that history directly contradicts. That doesn't mean that we don't imagine events that could have happened.
Ready to go again?
You don't need to ask.
One should always have the freedom to choose.
The struggle between the Assassins and the Templars is part of this universal push-pull between control and freedom.
The Templars are all about control over the mass, telling people what to think, telling people what morals to have, what's right and wrong. And the Assassins represent freedom of thought, freedom of choice.
A lot of gamers talk about how our endings are like cliffhangers, but I think the Assassin's Creed game, like any season finale, deserves such an ending.
Don't forget, It's all about Desmond's ancestors. So it's all about Desmond's story going into a machine and reliving ancestors' past lives.
What will be really racking their brains at the end of the game is that you can't really trust anybody.
We really wanted to keep people on their toes, who's on my side and who's really not on my side, have the player doubt who his friends are and who his enemies are.
It's really like a big conspiracy and you don't know who's a Templar, who is an assassin. That part is really true for Desmond as well.
You start to see how messages from the past are being conveyed to Desmond in the present, and we're building to something really big.